The violence in the streets continues. Occurred yesterday again in Portland, Oregon. It's moved from the federal courthouse. It's moved in other major cities. It continues to escalate. The president needs to take action, not just sending a few federal agents. We don't know that he's ever arrested really much of anyone. That's a reality. And the police, of course, are retiring in droves. They're claiming PTSD, disability. We don't have police that will defend us. But this year, Freedom Watch has actually brought a lawsuit in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for a number of policemen, which will likely be turned into a class action eventually. And the theory of that case, and it's more than a theory, it's an actual state of affairs, is that white male cops in particular, and other cops, have been discriminated against based upon their race, based upon their ethnicity, based upon other factors. And that's one of the reasons why in this country we have a constitution. Everybody's to be treated equally. But the district attorney in Philadelphia, who was elected with the money of George Soros, a guy named Larry Krasner, who is pure evil, has persecuted cops from day one. The mayor, Jim Kenney, played games politically to be reelected, panders to Black Lives Matter, New Black Panthers Party, Sharpton, Farrakhan, all of them. And the police chief, the former one, had to resign in disgrace, or he was fired rather, Richard Ross, over allegations of sexual harassment. And the new police chief, if you can believe this, was taken from Portland, Oregon. Her name is Danielle Outlaw, a very fitting family name. So we have sued all of these characters. We have sued them for huge damages. And we are fighting back for the police, as I've done before in Dallas, Texas, with Demetric Penny, when he was assaulted during the massacre a few years ago. It's time that Americans step up to the plate. It's time that our Justice Department does something. It's time that the president takes control. It's time that he actually fights back rather than just talk with tweets. And that's very important. But your Freedom Watch is doing it. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up. We also do it with regard to communist China and the COVID-19 scandal, because that was in fact created. It had its origins in our own laboratory in Fort Detrick, Maryland. It was sent over, according to our client, Dr. Mikovits, at the direction of Dr. Fauci, who's done all he can to try to harm the president, take the economy down, get Biden elected this fall. And it resulted, because the Chinese engineered it, into a likely bioweapon which escaped, which has destroyed not just this country, but the world. And we have a criminal case in The Hague, Holland. And today I'm filing a new lawsuit against CNN, its CEO, Jeff Zucker, a far leftist, someone who hates Trump, and the reporter, Darcy, that defamed me and defamed Dr. Judy Mikovits when we revealed what Fauci had done in sending the seeds of COVID-19 over to the communist Chinese, the lab in Wuhan, because research that was being done here could not be done legally. It went over with grant money provided during the Obama administration. So you can see that we're fighting on all fronts. We're fighting not just for the police, to get them to be able to be respected and to protect us and to protect themselves. More importantly, we're fighting not just the communist Chinese, but we're also fighting the leftist fake news media like CNN, and it's not the first time. It's your Freedom Watch that does all of this. It's not our Justice Department. We are your Justice Department. So go to freedomwatchusa.org, support our cause, support our COVID-19 class action, see if you qualify, support our criminal case in The Hague, support our case against the Philadelphia police, not against the Philadelphia police, but for the police, against the evil mayor, the evil DA, and the evil police chief, two of them. And that is why it's so important that we rise up, we wage a second American revolution peacefully and legally before this country is lost. Share this podcast far and wide. You can find it on radioamerica.com, on freedomwatchusa.org, on Parler, Parler, or as they say in French, Parler, on Twitter, on iTunes, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can find it everywhere. Share it far and wide. Get the word out. We need to rise up to save our country. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. And thank you for listening to me. I'll be back tomorrow with another edition of our special podcast. And also, Listen to our radio show this week, syndicated on about 50 stations nationwide, and also podcast. God bless you. Stay safe, and thank you for listening to me.